Well, welcome everybody. I am going to put the spotlight on Deborah and myself. You're welcome.
And I want to thank everyone for being here because a big part of why we do this is because of Global Peace Tribe family. We are definitely a family, soul family. And we know that. And this is what helps us accomplish so much in our lives and overcome the challenges and create the new earth, like we talk about so much on this show. And this is family time. This is holy days time. So, really appreciative for the support that you've given that gives you access to this supporters party, meaning you've given us something in terms of energy or finances that have helped us go forward. And really thank you for that. And thank you for showing up because it makes the heart warm and fuzzy to see all of you. So thank you so much. And I think, as you know, we're going through some changes as if you tune in to guidance and, follow the flow of what's meant to happen, that's where magic keeps evolving. And when I started getting ready to think about another season, my guidance was, not really to do it, to really work on other things around the business, work on the foundation that can make it much more stronger and sustainable, work on some major special events that will be really cool. Right now, I'm working on a book launch with Deepak Chopra. He's launching a book on abundance in March. And so we're going to be his book launch, online book launch, which is really cool. So I'm going to work on things like that and just not do the weekly show and also give myself a little break, work on all my other businesses, but know that I'm still there behind the scenes, supporting the show, the new show that we're birthing, The Awakening World, and working on new things that are coming through me like they have during these last year and a half. And it's been amazing, who knew we would reach so many people, literally touch millions of people with light and love over this last year and a half. It's such an important time with such important information. So thank you all for your part in it, because all of you have been a part of making that happen and supporting me and Scott so that we do feel supported and continue. It's been quite a ride to do a show every single week. We've done 90 shows. That's been crazy. It's like all me and Scott did, nonstop every day. But it was so powerful, when spirit puts a project and a passion in your belly, you just got to birth it. Or if not, you don't feel right. So, and me and Scott are very much similar in that way, that spirit puts the missions in our belly and we follow through with all that we have. So that's kind of the way it's been. So again, thank you so much. And I want to start by bringing up two people that have been really instrumental in the show. And you see him almost every show. That's Jay Mayer. He was there from the very beginning to support us, financially and give us the green juju to continue. And then he started producing the videos and other things to add. And he's a really good critic too. We used him to say what was good and what was bad and keep improving. And then, of course, Jan works with him, and Jan's an expert producer. This has been her field in the past. So she was able to work with Jay, and they do the amazing wisdom jewels as well as other new things they're doing on video. And they meet with us every week. They've been right there with us, and as well as producing some of the shows, as you know, the Native American shows. The one show Jan did with all Native American women was so awesome. And then some of the other shows, the animal communication show, really creative shows that they've done. So again, thank you so much. And would you like to share a bit?
Sure. I love to share. I love to share about what a great opportunity it is to have a global peace tribe. And it wasn't that long ago that I wasn't aware that it existed. And, I think back on Michael Beckwith's church, that they started with very humble roots and then it grew, and Scott knew him then. And, I'd like to see this event, take wings, and the Global Peace Tribe is a real opportunity for us to, bless each other and come together and, maybe in a small way or a large way, really contribute to world peace, being a reality for us and improving the quality of life for all beings, just because we're powerful when we join together, for the highest good. So I'm just happy to be part of something that can render so much good to the world and each other.
Well, I'd also like to share. Thank you, Jay. It's an opportunity for everybody, and everybody has gifts, special superpowers. We get to see Scott's superpowers, Deborah's superpowers, and all of your superpowers. So it's really fun to play and engage and learn and gain wisdom and knowledge at the same time. So I just encourage you guys to engage and participate, and to continue your great support. It's a wonderful community, and both of us are really happy and excited to just be able to play in the sandbox with everybody. So
Thank you both. I really appreciate. I was working with him again today, planning things for the new year, and I love the wisdom jewels that you do. Thank you for the after shows. Aren't the wisdom jewels great? Isn't that just a great feature, everybody? That's Twinkle. That's a really lovely, lovely feature that they've created. So thank you, Jay and Jan. And
Can I say a word about the after show too?
yeah, please do. Yeah.
The after show is sponsored by Light Touch, and we want Light Touch to grow and have wings, and it needs its own platform to let people understand how easy and simple and powerful it is. So, right now we're doing it every other week, and we're also doing talent searches all over for like new talent and artists that are undiscovered because we can't play stuff by signed artists, as we learned a couple weeks ago. So anyway, looking forward to some really powerful and fun after shows, and we do some 60s too, swing and some Beatles, so live performances. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Jay. It's going to be a lot of fun. I really, really, really grateful for you very much. I want to put the spotlight on some people that are a really important part of our team. Obviously, it's been amazing. Deborah has worked so hard on this show. It's remarkable. She's really, really, really done a lot. And Deborah and I pretty much have met every morning for usually on average 2 hours, sometimes three. Then there'd be an afternoon meeting. So I just want to again one more time just twinkle Deborah for all that she's done to give birth to Saturday Night Alive. And really, Saturday Night Alive for the Global Peace Tribe, it started with Saturday that, but then it became the Global Peace Tribe. It grew into something so much larger. And remember, Deborah and I just thought we were going to do this for maybe a month or two on Saturday nights, and it's grown and it's grown. And of course, I started doing my Straight Talk show on Friday nights. I started doing the Sacred Sundays show, and the Global Peace Tribe continues to grow. And no doubt, some of you right here in this room are going to be not only participating in the Awakening World or any other shows that we do, but maybe some of you are going to create your own shows. Jay's already created his after shows. So, we are the Global Peace Tribe, and I look forward to seeing how some of you are going to come in and get involved, not just as guests, but maybe even as creators. Christy Michaels is here right now, and Christy and I are talking about doing something together on January 6th. So, this is truly a tribe. We are a community, and I do want to hear from you. I want to hear your ideas. Always be patient with me because I'm pretty busy. I'm doing a lot. And so you all have permission to repeatedly nudge me if you have an idea or something you want me to read or know about. Email me, and then once a week send me a text message saying, Scott, have you gotten a chance to listen to my song or take a look at the idea that I sent, okay? Because that's the way it's going to have to be. And with Deborah taking time to take care of her health and work on building a foundation, I knew that I needed a really strong new team. and I am so grateful for my new right-hand person. Most of you have seen her. This is Debbie Johnson, and you've seen her on some of the shows. She was our volunteer coordinator, and she is now my right-hand person for all things
Woo!
new season, all things Awakening World and beyond. So,
Yeah.
welcome, Debbie. Thank you so much.
No, my pleasure. I'm happy to be here, happy to be a part of this amazing crew. It's such inspiration that I gained all year from all of you. So it's an honor. So thank you for letting me have this opportunity.
Oh my God, it's so my pleasure. So my pleasure. And I'm going to introduce a few other people that are part of the team. This is our newest member of the team. This is Nitsi. And Nitsi's coming to us from Texas. She's going to be.
Hi, how are you? Hi.
Welcome, Nitsi.
Hi, it's really nice to be here too. I'm excited.
And then this is Mao. Mao is coming to us all the way from the Philippines. And she's going to be doing a lot of our work. So welcome, Mao.
Hi, everyone. Nice seeing all of you today. And it's really an honor to be part of this team. And I'm kind of shy right now, guys. So uh, I mean, just don't put a spotlight on me.
Well, stay on for a minute because I'm going to take a photo of our new team. And of course, most of you know the wonderful Susie. Susie is also just a really wonderful part of our team. She does a lot of the volunteer coordinating. She's doing kind of keeping track. She and Debbie have been working on vetting and kind of organizing all the wonderful people that send their music or their books or their ideas. She helps us with the links. Last week she did all the links for us. So Susie, love you so much. Anything you want to say, Susie?
No, just more of the same. It's a pleasure to be here and such a wonderful connection that's gotten us through these times that don't even seem to be over yet in some ways. So having been isolated, it was just such a wonderful connection and, new friends and learning from you and Deborah and Debbie and going through this list of all the people that have wanted to be involved. I'm still kind of sorting it out, but there's just some really wonderful people. And so, what a pleasure to meet them as well. So I'll do what I can. I'm here.
Everybody is the best. One other important member of our team is Lesme. And Lesme is also in the Philippines. I've been working with Lesme for about 4 years on different projects. And he creates all of our posters. So, for example, the poster for this weekend's show, which of course, hopefully you're all going to watch. So Lesme created that, and he's doing all of our posters and helps us out in all sorts of ways. He brought Mao into the fold. So thank you, Lesme, for the wonderful work that you do. And I really appreciate how. And Lesme is a new father. He's got a little infant.
Yeah.
That's why no matter what time of the day I text him, I hear back from him because he doesn't sleep anymore.
Well, I got used to it, Scott. Well, I'm glad to meet everyone, and I'm really excited for 2022. There's a lot of things that's gonna happen. I'm pretty much sure about it. It's really exciting, and yeah, I've been with Scott for, I don't know, 2-3 years. I've been me and my team has been handling a lot of stuff for him before. We're also doing the restream of the shows, SNA, all the shows that he has.
That's right.
All right, so yeah, let's yeah. All right, thanks.
Another wonderful member of our team is Robin Stryker. And Robin is going to help us with finding supporters and fundraising and all sorts of things to be determined. We're still kind of conversing about how to collaborate. So she's a wonderful member of our team. So welcome, Robin.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so impressed with the whole thing and how it's all evolved so beautifully from spirit.
Yeah. And I want to acknowledge some of the people that are just there supporting us, like Connie and Andrew. Connie and Andrew are just they're always there, and then when we need to call upon them, they're there. So thank you very much, Connie and Andrew, for the wonderful ways you show up.
Well,
And
thank you for the high vibration, feeding the collective consciousness with such a high vibration consistently, always on that evolutionary upward spiral. We just are in total gratitude to both you and Deborah.
oh, beautiful.
And the team. Thank you, team.
Yeah.
And one more person I got to add is that wild and crazy
wild
mystic
guy.
Rabbit Cherry, who's always there moving and grooving to the music and dancing. And people always say, who's that really fun guy who's always dancing to the music? And that's our wonderful Jerry Anderson, who goes back and forth between 10,000 acres that he has in Puerto Rico. And he's gotten people through Saturday Night Alive, through the Global Peace Tribe, to come and be with him in Puerto Rico. And Jerry, anything you want to say about what you're still looking for?
No, we can use volunteers of every kind, from people who stay in their home to people who come and visit us. 2022 is our year to really birth the new buildings and so forth on our property.
Beautiful. Well, thank you, Jerry.
Thank
And
you.
the last person I'm going to introduce is someone that is just such a joy to work with. We first met her through Saturday Night Live as a musician. Then I invited her to be my co-host, and I think this is going to be our fourth show that she's co-hosting with me. And by the way, she takes over. I want to let you know, when I'm working with Kristen, she just takes over and does an amazing job. Okay, Scott, this is what we're going to use, and this is going to be the agenda, and this is how we're going to do it. But it's everything she does with such joyfulness. And the thing I want to say about Kristen that's amazing is I can't believe that someone who's that talented and that much of a perfectionist is so nice, right? Usually people that are that talented and perfectionists are not nice people. They're effective people, but they're not nice. But she's still nice. So I think that's why I keep appreciating her dad, Henry, because somehow she kept the nice in all of that.
Oh, I love you so much, Scott. It's been such a gift to weave with you in the last year and a half or so. And Deborah, thank you so much. You guys have just created pure magic and healing in this community. And it has been an honor to be a guest musician and guest collaborator with both of you. Seriously, big, big props and lots of great energy and gratitude coming your way. Thank you. So is this my time to take it away? Okay.
Put the spotlight on you, Deborah. I didn't know if there's anything you wanted to add before we went to music.
No, I just love seeing everyone. It's just warms my heart. It's great. And I'm anxious to hear Kristen because she is amazing.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, celebrating all of you who are here today, and thank you for your support of Saturday Night Alive and the Awakening World and the Global Peace Tribe. It is critical in building this community. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And to honor you, I'm going to take you on a short sound journey, and just think of it as a co-collaboration. We're all sending our intentions into this piece of music. It's never been written, and we'll just see what wants to emerge. So send your prayers, send your meditation, send your energy in, and we'll see what comes. Okay. I call this Soul Loam, which is light weaving with vibration of the universe. Okay. love, love, love. We are the awakening world.
I got such a rush of tears hearing you singing that, Kristen.
Oh.
You know, I think one of the people who's in the chat box with us, Dia, wrote it perfectly. She wrote, Kristen is almost not real, but perhaps she represents the new reality. And I think, Dia, you nailed it. The Kristen is the future. This is once we've transcended polarized thinking, once we've transcended right and wrong and good and bad, and when we're living on heaven on earth, then I think we're going to find people that are like Kristen Hoffman.
Oh, thank you, Scott. Well, it takes a beautiful soul being of light who's carrying us into the future to know another, and I think we all play our very unique and important roles at this time. We are truly weaving together. So, thank you all. Thank you.
Have a sip of tea. I'm going to show the Awakening World video, and then I'd love for us to tell everybody about what we've got planned for Saturday night.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay. So, when Deborah decided to not do another season of Saturday Night Live, I also really dropped in and tuned in, and my guidance was really clear to continue. And so I was like, okay, well, what should we do? And I knew that I wanted to do a variation of what I've been doing on Friday nights and Saturday nights and Sunday mornings. For any of you who don't know, on Friday nights I've been doing a show called Straight Talk, which is more kind of talk show format on important issues. Obviously, you all know Saturday Night Live. And then on Sundays, I've been doing my Sacred Sunday show where I'll have one or two guests, like Connie and Andrew, for example, and we'll kind of drop deep into a topic. I'll share with all of you that privately, in some of my conversations with people like the Twin Ray, Andrew Harvey, Michael Beckwith, they all pretty much say similar things, which is that we are truly going through a birth. You know, people use different language for it, but we're going through this birth. Some people call it the apocalypse. Some people call it the Great Awakening. Some people call it the dawning of the age of Aquarius. And that it's going to be very hard for a lot of people. And that this winter is going to be especially hard for a lot of people. But it's also important for us to find this balance of having empathy for the people that are having a hard time, while recognizing that some of us are blessed to not be having such a difficult time, and to be in the awareness that this is a birth. It is an awakening. You've heard us say it so many times. Greg Braden has said it, I've said it, about how we are the imaginal cells finding each other. That is what the Global Peace Tribe is. We're the imaginal cells finding each other to come together to play our part in creating a new world. And so I want to acknowledge my partner Trish first came up with, as we were kind of talking about it, she said, what about the awakening world? So thank you to Trish for that. And I just want all of us to find that balance of supporting each other and finding the balance of having empathy for those members of our community that are struggling, that are having a hard time, and for us to be there for them. And to also lovingly remind people and ourselves and each other that we are in a birth canal. We are part of the awakening world. And awakening is not just happy, happy. You know, when we awaken, we become aware of things that are uncomfortable. We become aware of the ways that we have not been taking good care of the environment. We become aware of the ways we have not been taking good care of our bodies. We become aware of the ways we haven't taken the best care of our relationships. And so that's why the catchphrase for the awakening world is is connecting us to that, recognizing that, okay, we're awakening to how we can be more connected to each other and to the earth. And so the shows that we're all doing together, every weekend we're going to choose a topic. And we're going to explore that topic all weekend long. Friday night, kind of straight talk style, but I'm calling it now The Awakening World, Friday night edition, where we talk about it. Saturday night, we'll still bring in music and magic and inspiration, but it's going to be more interactive. And then on Sacred Sunday, we'll kind of wrap it up. I'll choose one or two people to really talk about it. And very much going to try and bring in more of you, more community connection. Bring in the Andrews and Connies and Jerrys and all of you to, at least chat more so that we all are exploring these issues together. It's going to be a little bit more of a somber tone than Saturday Night Live for the Global Peace Tribe was. Definitely still inspirational, absolutely, but also recognizing the hard stuff. So with that, I want to show our promotional video for it. Again, it's not quite as upbeat as Saturday Night Live's promotional video, but I've taken, these are all interviews that you can see with Michael Fox and Marianne Williamson and Matthew Fox and Michael Beckwith. These are all interviews I did with them in the last 2 weeks, little excerpts. So anyway, here's what we're doing with the Awakening World. Oh, and let me make sure I click sound. One other thing I want to say about the Awakening World is that I am really longing to bring in more people of color, more people of different cultures, more people of different belief systems, and people of all ages. So I'm really making a concerted effort to every show have younger people, older people, people of different cultures, different backgrounds, people of different belief systems. So that's also a direction that I feel very called to do my best with. So here we go. We chose the title of The Awakening World as a reminder that we all are waking up together as human beings and as a planet.
But the Course in Miracles says you can't go from the nightmare to awakening. You have to go from the bad dream to the happy dream.
A lot of people today, and we have to face this reality, are in complete despair and have given up. There's good and evil going on inside of us all the time, and we can't be in denial about either. We've got to pull out the good.
Peace does not roll in on the wheels of inevitability, but it rolls in on the backs and the minds of individuals who are doing the spiritual work.
If you actually care and your intention is to disrupt this, first you got to admit that it's happening, that it exists. It's happening.
We're in the process of awakening. The bad dream becomes a happy dream. A planet in which there is so much unnecessary suffering becomes a world in which there is no unnecessary suffering.
And so I think we're being prepared for a renaissance.
Hello, everyone. I'm absolutely thrilled to celebrate the Awakening World and Scott Katimus's new formulation of his Wild and Holy Adventure beginning next year. Because it's my experience, and I know it's Scott's too, that in a dark time, what we all need more than oxygen is sacred inspiration.
We knew that this would be a show that everyone can connect with and everyone can relate to on some level. Yeah. Because when you really think about a teacher, yes, you can think about a persona or a personality, of course, but we're going to open this up to understand that everything is a teacher. Breath is a teacher.
To keep us alive to our true selves and energized by divine love and given the courage to put
love into action to become midwives of this awakening world.
So join us for this extraordinary new series of shows designed to inspire, inform, and bring us all into connection together. Our revolving co-hosts include Kristen Hoffman, Larissa Stowe, Reverend Bridge Feltis, Dr. Brenda Wade, Eden Amadora, and my longtime teaching partner, Trish Wright. Our guests on our first 4 shows include the Twin Ray, Matt Kahn, Pato and Antoinette, Chief Phil Lane Jr., Nina Palmieri, Sharif Abdullah, Keishi Chai, and Dawn Red Sun, and many, many others.
I can talk about trees till the cows come home, and they are my greatest love, along with the rest of the planet, frankly. But actually, what I really want to talk about is us. It's what it means to be human. You know, in this moment, you are being kissed all over by a sky that has no limit, but vast intelligence. So then, what's the possibility of humanity? We're not here to destroy ourselves. We're here to love ourselves and each other into the fullest expression of what a human being is. And we have no idea what that even means. And that's why I've got hope.
We can't get to the solution without knowing what the problem is. The significant problems we have cannot be solved with the same level of thinking with which we created them. Reducing the amount of carbon in the atmosphere is not a vision. It's not something I can get my mind around. Our emerging vision is creating a world that works for all.
Register now by going to globalpeacetribe.com. We are the Global Peace Tribe, and together with all of these extraordinary luminary leaders, we will go from surviving to thriving. So please register now at globalpeacetribe.com. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I'll put the YouTube link into the chat box, and I'd love to read any thoughts and comments you have. So I will read the chat box tonight. That'll be while I'm having dinner, I'll read what you have to write. So your thoughts, your responses, you can be honest, pop them into the chat box, and I'll also put the YouTube link in there. Again, we really want to find that balance of being inspirational and giving people hope while also being honest and addressing some of the really real challenges. And I'm really excited to be bringing some new voices, voices that some of you might not know, people that are younger, people that are of color, people that may not be as famous as Reverend Michael or Mary Ann, but people that are like Claire Dubois, who's just is so inspirational in her understanding and her embodiment of commitment to our world. So there it is. And I am going to turn it over to my wonderful co-host and partner for this week's show, Kristen Hoffman, to tell us about our show this Saturday night.
Okay. Well, we are super excited to come together on the first day of 2022. And our show this week is going to be called New Year's Evolutions, right? Resolutions are great, but let's have evolutions. So New Year's Evolutions, we are the awakening world. And we have some amazing guests this week, starting with Chief Phil Lane Jr., Dawn Red Sun, Nina Palmieri, Ben Bowler, Keishi Chai, myself, Scott, of course, and I feel like I'm forgetting one person.
Chief Phil Lane.
Oh, I got Sister Jenna. Oh, she's one of my most beloved mentors in this whole world. And every time she speaks, just tears pour. And she's going to be gifting us this gorgeous New Year's meditation as we step into 2022. Oh, and Guinevere is going to be in full 2022 costume and doing a prediction for us for the new year, a kind of celestial cosmic prediction. So we really have a special show lined up. I know it's going to go very deep, and it'll be a soulful time to come together, lift our spirits into the new year, help us to step into that space of evolving together and co-creating the vision that we want to see as we step into 2022. Anything to add, Scott?
Oh, gosh. Please help promote the show. Please let people know about it, especially because it's a new season. So I've just put the video into the link, and then Deborah has put the registration link. Thank you very much, Deborah. And, tell people about it, invite people, and start coming on Friday nights. This Friday night is New Year's Eve, so we're not going to have a show this Friday night, but then the following weekend we'll start doing Friday nights a little bit later, 7:30 Pacific time. I know that's late for those of you on the East Coast. And then, of course, we'll still have our 6 o'clock regular time Saturday nights, and then the Sacred Sunday show on Sunday mornings at 10 o'clock. I'm going to put it on you, Deborah, for a minute, because I need to create the breakout rooms. I haven't had a chance to do that yet. So I'm going to put the spotlight on Deborah and let her introduce what we're going to do with breakout rooms. And you're muted, Deb.
Yeah, Scott, do we want to leave it open for some comments from people?
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking, do we want to do comments now or go to breakout rooms? I'll leave it up to you.
Our agenda says we'll do comments. So I think since you shared that, if anyone wants to comment about the new show or has anything they want to share about everything, that would be great.
Thank you. I saw the agenda and I missed that part, so thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, thank God I've got Kristen, because Deborah's who's always kind of taking care of me. So thank you, Kristen. Thank you, Debbie. I need somebody to help me with those things.
And luckily we have Debbie too. She's going to be great at kind of taking over that role. It's kind of a woman's thing to keep all the details
That's
together.
true. Debbie, Jan Kaplan, Kristen Hoffman, Deborah Giusti. Thank you, ladies. Thank you.
Yeah. So is there anyone that wants to share? Maybe just raise your hand and Scott can see you.
Deborah, I am going to have to create the meeting rooms. So if you could call on people, and if you're co-host, if you could spotlight.
Okay.
Great.
All right, Lorna.
Hi, everyone. I don't know if it's feasible, but I think it would be great to have breakout rooms on Saturday night. Just maybe too many people. I have no idea what the technology, but it would be so fabulous because then we'll be talking to people all over the world. And what a way to make the planet smaller in that sense, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. It's always so great when we do it on the supporters party because you really get to drop in with each other. So that's a great suggestion. Anyone else want to share? Is that you, Jay?
Yeah. I like the polling. I like to, hear from the Global Peace Tribe when we ask questions and everyone lets us know where they stand. So, we can have our programming reflect, the latest interests that people are, wanting to reflect on.
Cool. Great, we can work on that, definitely. Anyone else have some comments, inspiration, anything you want to share during this sacred time?
Yeah, I do.
All right, let me see where you are, Christy.
Christy.
Yeah.
Hi. I don't even know how to put the words to it, but I think the reason why we saw such an explosion of growth with the Saturday Night Alive is that we were really tapped into a truth and and a greater, I mean, the fact that we did a show that had Indigenous women, you can't turn on the TV and see a program on you know, the platform, giving the platform to Indigenous women sharing. It was just blew my mind. It's so, I'm so glad the Awakening World theme is spot on. And Scott and I are in conversation about us on January 6th doing a love illusion where we do a heart coherence meditation to send out the energy of love and creating the field of love, and have some really powerful speakers to tag on to that as well. So anyway, I'm a big fan and a big supporter, and right there in alignment and resonance with all of you. And Kristen, thank you so much for your fabulous, fabulous heart-centered, embodied higher self music. It's fantastic.
Thank you so much, Christy. Thank you.
And Christy's mission is to bring forward the divine feminine. That's what she's all about, Mary Magdalene and all aspects of divine feminine. So it's really great to partner with her and have that come into our shows. So thank you.
Thank you.
And Michael, you have your hand up, which is great.
Thank you. I'm going to use some words, but words aren't necessary. Picking up on a couple of things, Kristen, thank you. The whole seeds of new beginnings, that's what it's about. And when we think about planting seeds in the soil, we normally think of moisture that's needed. But the seeds of these new beginnings need another element. These seeds of the new world are pyrophytic. They need the touch of fire to germinate. And it's the fire of love. I'd like to add that element in. That's what I got when I was listening to your music. And then when Scott said that we have to have compassion and reach out to those that are suffering, that's been a theme at Meditation Mount, where I'm based in Ojai, California. Hope and healing, we need both. We need compassion and healing because we have a broken world. And then we need hope, which is the promise of the future that is inextinguishable. However, it will only show up when we create the right conditions, and the right conditions are this field of love, the field of coherence that Carol just mentioned. So I'm thinking that we are beginning to listen and to sense together. I'll give you an example. At Meditation Mount, for the next year, for 2022, we chose the spirit of regeneration as our theme. And then I was speaking with my friend Dot Maver, who also in Global Silent Minute chose regeneration, Paul Hawkins' book on regeneration. Somehow regeneration, it's the coming of age of our dreams. Regeneration is this fiery spirit that ignites the heart of who we are and brings it into being. So regeneration is not just growing from the ground up, it's the fire of heaven meeting the earth, and then that holy communion between sky and earth, and the consummation of that is this birth, this awakening world, the new awakening, whatever we want to call it. And so I celebrate the fact that there is great beauty seeking to be revealed, and also honor that there is great suffering for those who are attached and part of something that is painful. And I acknowledge those aspects of myself that I'm still seeking to liberate, so I can be free to participate in the awakening world. So freedom just has a deeper meaning. Freedom for me is the ability to say yes and to participate with all of you in giving birth to something without being conditioned by the past, by simply bringing in something new. And Kristen, your music does it for me. Thank you so much. And what you did on the Longest Night a few days ago, that piece that you composed or brought through, it was Gaia singing her heart out.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank
I
you.
love you so much, brother. Thank you.
Thank you.
So great to be here with you this evening.
Thank you, Michael, for no words needed. That was beautiful words. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a few more people. Carol, you've had your hand up, so I'm going to pin you and you can share your thoughts.
Hey there, everybody. Wonderful, wonderful to be with you. I've been coming since the very beginning. I'm an overseas school teacher, so I bring this stuff into the secondary students' classroom regularly. I'm considered somewhat of a little bit of a radical, a little bit of a, you know, bringing in thoughts that are not the norm, but I just so enjoy. I'm math and science, so I've been around Nassim Haramein and Bruce Lipton and Greg Braden, and I go to all the conferences before we were all stuck in isolation. But I'm teaching in. I was in Albania, and I've since then moved to El Salvador. My husband got stuck at our house in Trinidad, which is where I am right now. So we just reunited after over 2 years, which is incredible. And I've come into the circumstances of the people here has been really devastated because of the, they were locked down for so long. And so because I have surrounded myself and learned the tools that everyone every weekend brings to this wonderful community, it makes it so much easier to be able to be inspirational to them and upbeat and, you know, you just can't make the stuff up that's happening to certain people in this pandemic and the loss of things. But I always keep myself together, just thinking that we still are here. You know, talk about Saturday Night Alive. Just the fact that all of us are alive is the thing that keeps me from the occasional times where I want to feel despair. So I just can't thank you. I'm so grateful. I've loved Kristen from the very beginning, her music, and so many others. We have such great music being introduced to us here, and the just the experience of, I'm not even sure how I stumbled on it, but I've been to every single one of the shows since the beginning, and I just can't thank you enough for what you've done for my personal journey through what is a time that is never thought we'd see it coming. And I'm full of inspiration for my youngsters because, you know, look what they're going through when you think of your happy days of high school and the socialness of it. And they are not having that. And I've been lucky. I'm face to face. So face smacks like crazy, you know, and keeping kids socially distanced. And I'm in a school right now with 1,300 kids. You know, it's exhausting, but it's really important work. And I just can't thank you enough. So thank you for being here for me and allowing me to share with you tonight. Appreciate it so much.
Thank you, Carol, and thank you for the work you do with the children. That's so important now, and so great we can be inspiration to you in that mission. So thank you. There's 2 more people, and that's all we're going to do, and keep it succinct if you can, but I'm going to bring Janet up. She has her hand up.
Okay, hello. I think that we just really do need to remember, after all of the seriousness that we've been through and all the realizations of the not so truthful things that have been happening, that we need to be laughing and we need to have some fun. And that is so important. Okay, laughter and fun. Seriousness is good, and I have a tendency to be too serious. So I have to remember to find the ways to laugh, okay? So I think that's very important. And that's one of the things that the magicians have done for me, and the lightness of Saturday Night Live. I've been here since, I think, the very beginning too. So I'm very grateful, and very thankful. Blessings.
Wonderful, Janet. Thank you so much for your share. And yes, that's what we've wanted to do, is take the energy up and really continue the high vibe. And here's one person that's really high vibe and brings the high vibe all the time, Missy Galore. So Missy, would you like to share?
Oh, I'm so grateful to share. And I just thank you so much to everyone on the production team and everyone supporting this amazing mission of inspiration that has just been such a fabulous resource for all of us to stay connected and really stay inspired in so many different ways. And I want to give special appreciation to how many different facets of the Jewel of Wisdom that you spotlight here, and how very important I think that is. For me, one of my favorite meditations on coherence is that we're not just bringing our heart and mind into alignment and syncing up our parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system and all those cascading benefits, but it's, you can hear it and think that that means everything's going in a lockstep and everything's going at once. But in fact, if everything goes in this monotonous way, that is disease. That is a body in distress. And where the real beauty of coherence is that everything gets to be uniquely as it is, flowing in its bliss. And the way that it nests together is how we create the scintillating symphony of life that nourishes us all. And I have a prayer for Levolution. I'm grateful to share and inspired to see so many here aligning their heart missions into action on earth. Thank you for being part of the Levolution rebirth. Shine your light, live your love. Every breath is a cosmic code. The time is now, we know how. Live in revolution with an open heart, an open mind, open channel, pure divine, love light flowing all the time. Live in revolution, we're living in revolution, living in love, living in revolution. Be the solution, revolution. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We don't have to wait anymore. The time is now. We know how. Live in revolution. We're living in revolution. Living in love. Living in revolution. We're the solution. Revolution. Be the solution. Revolution.
Thank you, Missy.
Yeah, thank you for showing up, everybody here, and wishing you a new year of vibrant health and good cheer. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm loving how Missy came on right after Janet, because Janet was saying, "Hey, let's make sure have entertainment, we have music, we have comedy," and then we had the wonderful Missy Galore who brings all that. So I think Mitzi was the answer to your request. Janet. There's kind of a perfection to that combination. So I have created breakout rooms, and so we're gonna have everybody go into the breakout rooms. There'll be approximately 5 people per breakout room, sometimes 4, sometimes 6. And the people that I'm hoping will be pod leaders, Christy Michaels, if you could be pod leader number 1 for room 1, and Lorna Sass, maybe you can help her out. Connie Andrew for room 2, Debbie Johnson for room number 3, and Jerry Anderson if she needs support. Deborah Giusti for room 4, the beautiful, intelligent, resourceful Jan Kaplan and Jay Mayer for room 5. Kristen Hoffman, room 6. And Susie, if you could do room 7, that'd be great. I'm going to kind of stay outside the rooms, but I might drop on in, but I'll be outside in case anybody comes in late that I need to assign. So in essence, you're going to have 20 minutes per room. And so if people could, pod leaders, just make sure everybody gets an equal amount of time to share their thoughts, what they want to see for the Global Peace Tribe. Short run, what they want to see for topics, themes, guests, and big picture events. What are some of the special events you'd like to see us do? What are some of the new shows or new projects you'd like to see us do? So that's what we're going to do. And in a moment, I'm going to open up all rooms, and you got to click here to join your room. All right. And then I'll give everybody a 10-minute warning and then a 1-minute warning before bringing everybody back in. So I am opening the rooms, and please everybody click join room. I'll notice like if some room only has 3 or 4, then I'll move a couple people over as needed. So, but hopefully it should be about 5 people per room on average. So click here to join. A couple of you just came in, so like Fanny Starchild, I need to add you to a room. Oh, welcome, Fanny.
You can add her with us if you want.
Sure. Let's see. You're in room 5. You got it. Testing, testing. How is this? Hopefully, this sounds like pretty good. So hopefully, does this make a difference? Does this make a difference? Does this make a difference like this? Yeah. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. But I asked Jerry Anderson to cover for your pod if you were not available. Oh, wow.
Scott, we were talking, our group, I guess we're back. We were talking about how we love the heart math and the coherence show. So even if you went heavier, to keep that coherence, beautiful coherence.
Yeah, and again, I really want to find that balance of, I don't even want people to think that it's heavy,
Yeah.
but finding that balance of empathy and understanding for the very real challenges, so we're not in spiritual bypass. Hey, boobles. Okay, all right, come here. Both of my dogs have been very needy since I got home today. Okay.
Is that a, let's see, is that a
He's a
Havanese?
He's a Maltese.
Oh, no, not a Havanese. They're very close. They're very
Yeah,
similar.
they're similar. They're cousins. So, yeah. So definitely finding that balance. And I love what you said, Michael. That was very, very beautiful. Thank you.
And we also said about, I said the more vision of what the true, I call it the true earth because it's being unveiled. It is the earth that is, more vision of what it, because people don't have the vision, they have the dystopia vision, more vision of what this is by the scientists, the artists, the musicians, paint that vision of what we're moving towards.
Yeah. Beautiful. Nitsi, Jerry, Michael, anything else you'd like to add?
Well, I would say that Michael said some very interesting things in our breakout that was very interesting, in that he said, an interesting cool quote is, joy is the digestive enzyme. But the point I wanted to make was that he was really talking about our show as being kind of like the land, the place where this is all coming together in its imaginal visionary next step, and that this show is kind of happening, that the participants are going through this together instead of like watching or observing, that we're the actual cells that's making it happen and through us. And I kind of use the word catalyst because that's kind of like what a catalyst does, is kind of carries it to the next phase of the process.
Yeah, thank you, Jerry. What I was saying, Scott, was that often we get together and we talk about what's happened in the past, or we talk about what's happening in the future, and often fail to realize that the present is where everything is being birthed. And so can we be present together? And rather than having the birth happen to us, it happens through us. So when things happen through, we become the connective tissue between the dream of what we want to have and the reality of what is manifested. And so it isn't just having a lot of people talking together, but it goes back to this coherent field. Now, we're not just reflecting on where we've been this past year or looking forward to next year. We actually are present together, and something new is streaming through us real time. It's never been streamed to the planet before. That, I believe, is a portal we need to keep open.
Beautiful. It reminds me of that famous phrase, the past is history, the future is a mystery. And that's why we call the greatest gift of all the present.
Thank you.
I'm going to call upon each of our pod leaders to just give like a little summary of highlights. Deborah Giusti, would you be willing to go first?
Sure. Bonnie says that she has a movie that she's aware of, that's going to be really a major production for the kind of themes that we want. So she wants to connect with you and connect you with that movie. And she also saw that we could go on a cable channel at this point, like Roku, which I know we've talked about. And she mentioned Peacock as the network that would be most aligned with what we do. So that was a good lead on that.
Great, thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
How about if I'm going to go to Kristen Hoffman, and then I'll go to Susie.
Okay. Well, we had a wonderful chat and a beautiful group, and a couple of the key discussion points were loving the breakout room possibility, and we were saying if the show could kind of stay to the main show was actually like staying to 2 hours, maybe every week at it's my time 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern, when the actual show ends, have a 20-minute breakout period right there. And also how nice that would be to just kind of put a bookend on the main show and then open into the new beginning of the after show, and that it could really build community. A couple other things were that sometimes the pre-show is so juicy, and the speakers sharing in the pre-show are so amazing, and they kind of do their thing the first time, and then during the main show it's kind of like they're repeating, and just that feeling of, oh, how do we get that juiciness out of the main presenter during the main show? That was another comment. And also a living poem, a poem that could kind of be a collective collaboration throughout the show, and maybe somebody keeping tabs of all of the words, little sentence ideas, and then at the end of each show we could read the living poem from that show. Cool. So those were some of our feelings and ideas.
Those are fabulous ideas. I really like those ideas a lot. I mean, all of them, but certainly the big one that stands out for me is having finished at 8 o'clock, and between the end of the main show and the start of the after show, when we do have an after show, to have breakout rooms for people to come in and share what came up for them. I think that's a lovely, I really like the idea. I like that a lot.
I love it too.
Okay, Susie seems to be eager. So Susie,
yeah. Well, I wanted to say something about when you were talking about catalysts, but oh shoot. That poem, to create that poem, I'll have to look for somebody in the volunteer list that's maybe a poet and would volunteer to do that. That would be very cool.
We had that person in our breakout room, Kristen. Maybe you can connect.
Yeah, that would be great. And I'm Suzy, SUZY at globalpeacetribe.com.
Yes, and Susan, so you'll remember Susan Wooldridge was the seed planter of this beautiful poem idea. So maybe you can reach out to Susan.
Yeah,
Wooldridge.
she's a poet with a book called Poem Crazy or something.
Cool.
Yes. So we loved this idea of the collective poem, and then those could be captured each week, and eventually, maybe after a year, there could be a book each year of the collective poems. How about that?
Yeah. Okay, and so then
do that.
So the other thing, just when I came in, I heard you talking about catalysts, and you know, I'm a functional medicine nutritionist, and in a lot of my studies, I always want to share this now, that yes, a catalyst causes things to change, but itself doesn't change. But enzymes are the ones that actually do everything, and they come in and cause the changes, and then they change themselves, and then they also can do other functions. So they're like multi-important and faceted. So I just wanted to, when everybody says it's a catalyst, I want to go, actually, it's an enzyme. But so we had a wonderful group. We had Wilma from Brazil, which was great, although she's living in Georgia now. But I had mentioned to Scott one time, if anybody knows how you can get the translation, if there's any Zoom, I think it's so great that we can share information. But if somebody knows how to work the Zoom, and there's a feature where you can have translation, right, as people are listening, I'm going to write Pachamama because I know they do that. And so that's an option that we can then bring in people from other countries and be able to just have the show, and then people can just go into the translation.
Susie, I would suggest that Nitsi, who's going to be coming in and helping. Nitsi, is that something you could maybe work with Susie on, figuring out how we could translate our shows? I know that it's bilingual. So
yeah, okay, bueno, at least Spanish, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah.
See? So then, and then the other thing that I had brought up before with Scott, but I just want to put it out there to everybody is that, well, of course they loved the breakouts and we all agreed, and I'm in other groups where we break out, and it's so important because then we really connect. So yeah, that was a big plus. But if anybody knows anybody who knows somebody who's famous that have these millions of dollars, I was saying, like, you know, Bruce Springsteen just sold his catalog for $500 million. What in the world is he going to do with all that money? And somebody might have gone to school with somebody or knows somebody, a sports figure, or anybody that has like so much money that, you know, they could just go, here's 50K. And then we're going to, hopefully, I mentioned to Scott, you know, try to put together a really good video that we could send to them, and so they could see how great we are and get us funded so we can do all that, you know. But always people know, like I went to school with Dan Fogelberg. Well, he's gone, unfortunately, but you know, people know people.
Yeah.
And if you know anyone, just, you know, check that out.
Beautiful. Thank you, Susie.
Mhm.
That's really, really important. Absolutely. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to call on Jan Kaplan for her report.
All righty, here we go. Yeah, so it was so interesting because it was the after show group. So it was Jay and myself and Fanny Vigari and Missy and special guest Noelle from Southern California. So it was really fun, and we got to share and get to know each other, you know, a little bit better. And I always see Noelle. She's a faithful you know, fan, and she's always in the Zoom room every Saturday night. And so Trish McKinnon's name came up a lot. We were just talking about who we liked on the show, who we would like to see more of. Danny and Brinkley, Mark Anthony. Noelle has a friend who does an angel diamond matrix. Fanny would love to see more of Elijah Ray, and she suggested Patch Adams, who you know, if you know who Patch Adams is, you know, is an amazing humanitarian and a great clown, and heals children and goes into hospitals. So those kinds of people that are inspiring and bring joy and lightheartedness were definitely at the top of the list. And Missy would love to see more Indigenous wisdom, and I agree with her. And she suggested Freddie Silva talking about the nature of time and alternative calendars, and bringing on youthful activists like Malala and young people who are actually in the world and doing amazing things, who are really probably just enlightened beings, and they're here now doing their work. So anyways, we had a really great, fun conversation and went really fast. And I also wanted to bring up, you know, we were talking about the poem. Shariah Dharma did some really fun, creative things when she was helping on the show. And one of them was, it's kind of like a Venn diagram, but it was people putting all these words, and she was online and putting it all into this big, wasn't so much of a poem as it was sort of like a art piece with all the words that people were contributing in the chat room, and turning it into a piece of art that everybody could share in. So something similar along those lines, but it sounds like fun. All of it sounds like a lot of fun and a great way to keep ourselves playful, joyful, and inspired. So
beautiful, beautiful. Thank you. All right. Yeah, that was fun. I remember when Shariah did that. All right, let's see. Who's another pod leader that we haven't heard from yet? Who am I missing? Oh, Christy Michaels.
Hi, thank you. So we had a really rich conversation and a deep dive into what people were really resonating with. And one of the things was, in the evolution of Saturday Night Live, there was this kind of emphasis that we would sit back and we would be entertained. But then there was more and more, Lorna was talking about the opportunities that were coming in about tracking and really allowing for us to build community. and having teaching moments. So she offered the suggestion to Deborah, you'll love this, of the Earth School ascension lessons or teaching moments, and really have a designated intention to do something for one of the segments to create a way that we can learn how to be in community and support each other. And it kind of ties into what Linfield was talking about, being in the present moment. So we had a present moment in our group because when Paul Draper was on and he was talking about how he helps out and does free shows for kids in need and stuff. Well, Carol had invited him to come and do her grandson's birthday party. Her grandson has brain cancer. And so he came to her grandson's birthday party and did a whole thing of magical fun and laughter as support for the grandson. And he has been cancer free up until they just found out this week his cancer is back. So we all stopped and took a moment to send love and light and see her grandson in wholeness and blessings, that he is, every cell in his body is happy and being at peace in his body. So we had our own little, and I think that's what's so powerful about the interactive live nature of what we can do, because we have evolved, considering that when my mother was born, women didn't have the right to vote. And now we have extraordinary trauma therapy work that's evolved to help people heal, and we're expanding it more and more into solutions. So that's what one of the, what Carol had mentioned too, is that the show is really giving her hope, because when she see the examples of the work that people are doing, that is really making for such an extraordinary shift or change, it's very exciting. But so let's see, I think that was, and we want to go mainstream. I mean, how come we're not asking Oprah? I mean, seriously, we are filling a void that the mainstream has big time because of corporate America, and their profit-making motives. But I just know at some point mainstream's going to get privy to us and what we're doing, and help us jump to the next level. So thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you. And I'm reading something that Jan just wrote, which is very important, which is, Jay Mayer wants to remind everybody, we want the show to go viral, and that happens by everybody sharing. Really get the word out there about this show. Have a home party. Invite people to come together and watch the show together. Especially, when you see a particular topic we're doing, that you have friends that would really relate to that topic. So, please, that's a wonderful way to make it go viral. And thank you, Jay, for your constant prayers for us to go viral, and all the light touch blessings. Every day he does light touch blessings, and we do light touch blessings for the show to succeed. Connie and Andrew, we haven't heard from you about your pod yet. And thank you, Christy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, hi. Yeah, we had a small pod. There were 4 of us. Mao was with us, and she was in a sort of a witnessing mode. And Dia brought up the fact that she loves the name change, that it's more appropriate for what we're doing. So she's thrilled to have that.
The Awakening World.
The Awakening World. And she also made a couple of suggestions of a man in New Zealand named Christopher Melchizedek that she feels would be a good addition, as well as Kimberly and Foster Gamble. So that were her suggestions. And for me, I brought in the fact that I've always loved Saturday Night Alive because it was so focused on the high frequency and the high vibration. And seems like you're, broadening it to take it down into a lower frequency, so to speak. And I just want to just call our attention to the fact that we create what we put our attention on. And it's a very crucial understanding that the physics of reality creation is that we create it with our attention. And so I just hope that you keep a good balance between the shadow aspects and the light, Scott. It's crucial for me and anything that I am involved in.
Let me address that for a minute. I'm a privileged white man, and I have community, I have abundance, and most of us have a certain amount of privilege, and looking around, almost all of us have white privilege. And we're very blessed, and it is important for us to keep the vibration high. And it's also important for us to have empathy and understanding for what people are going through. It's important for us to reach out and not just be the new age, if we want to go mainstream, which we do, to not just be the progressive, new thought, older white people that are privileged. And so I absolutely always want to keep it inspirational. But you know what? I do want to expand and have younger people coming in. And I learned a lot by having the Straight Talk show with my co-host Trish, who's a millennial, and she's 35 and I'm 65. Well, I just turned 66. And it was really helpful having that, because it's like there is a way that sometimes we are living in our, thoughts create reality, high vibe reality, which is beautiful. And we're blessed. And I do want to find that balance of making us appealing and broadening out so that younger people do want to come in, and people of different races and cultures do want to come in. And is a fine line of keeping it high vibe and not falling into spiritually bypassing the very real issues and challenges that are in the world. And I invite all of you to help us find that balance, right? But that's why you'll notice that I'm bringing in people like Reverend Bridge Feltis and Sharif Abdullah, who are brilliant and very powerful and very compassionate and very inspiring, and also very real, with what's going on in our world. Claire Dubois, who's very real about what's going on in our world. So I hope that gives you some reassurance.
And let me just say that, Scott, you just said exactly what I was going to say, pretty much word for word, because I heard you earlier on. You said we want to reach out to different demographics, people of color, people from different life experiences, people of different age groups, people of different economic groups, because as you say, we're a pretty privileged. People look at me and say, you're a white man. Well, I say, no, look at me. My hair's white, but I'm pink. I'm a pink man. But I'm kidding. Point being, we are privileged just by the fact of our birth, whether or not we have money or those kinds of privileges, exactly. But that balance in these divided times, you've done such a good job for this last 18 months of keeping as Connie puts it, keeping the vibe high, avoiding the contentious issues that could have come in during this last period of time. It's been extraordinary. I mean, we've been losing friends because we're afraid to discuss certain things with family and on and on. So how do we confront those things without explosions?
Yeah. That is a big part of the work that we have to do next. I mean, look, I would love to ideally have people on our show of all thought forms, including the different belief systems that are out there. And I'm imagining that most of us are progressive new thought, which is wonderful. That's our core tribe. But now our job is to expand out. In fact, I'm gonna just thank you so much, Connie and Andrew, because we've got to wrap it up. But I've made a commitment for my new year, and I just want to invite any of you to consider if this resonates for you. I'm committing that every night I want to take a look at where did I, throughout the day, collect evidence to support my already existing beliefs, and where did I open my mind to different ideas, different beliefs, different points of view. Because that's how we awaken together. I believe that our planet is in a social media civil war where we're all living in echo chambers because the algorithms find out what we like, what we believe, so it gives us more of that. And so I think it's really important for us all to stretch. If you read the Washington Post, spend time on Fox News. If you spend time on Fox News, spend time on CNN. You know, expanding out so we're not just feeding ourselves what we already believe, but we're opening our hearts and our minds as much as we possibly can while keeping it inspirational. So anyway, thank you for bringing that up, Connie and Andrew. And I'm curious if people resonate with my commitment there. Maybe some of you might want to do something like that too.
It's a beautiful commitment. Thank you.
Thank you, Connie. All right. Deborah Giusti wasn't feeling well, so she sends her love to everybody and she has gone to bed. So I am going to turn it over to beloved Kristen Hoffman to close us out as only Kristen can do. Oh, you know what? I do want to make one last announcement. I just want to remind people, perfect segue from what we were just talking about, to come to my Sacred Sunday show. We're not going to do a show this Friday night because it's New Year's Eve. But I do have a really beautiful Sacred Sunday show, and it's going to be with Reverend Bridge Feltus. She is a powerful, wonderful, intelligent, compassionate woman. I have so much respect for her. And my longtime friend, Katrina Valancourt, and they represent different points of view. It's actually exactly what we were talking about. Katrina has made a real point to really try and understand the far right and what's going on with the far right. Reverend Bridge is very much on kind of on more of the far left, but understanding racial and social justice issues. And so I very intentionally chose them both to come on so we would have a real wide array of perspectives. And so please join us. And Sunday's show is going to be interactive. I'm definitely going to include, so if Connie and Andrew are there, you will have a voice. Christy Michaels and Robin and Jan and Susie, any of you come, I'm going to want to hear from you. So join us on Sunday. We're going to talk about what does the awakening world mean in a very expansive way. So perfect segue actually for that. All right, now I'm putting it on Kristen to close us out.
Oh, what a beautiful evening. I feel like my heart is so enriched after this time together. Thank you all so much for showing up and supporting this incredible show. And as we step into 2022, I know we're about to evolve and grow and light up together and go deep together into some of our maybe stagnant places and bring them up and work on them together, right? This is really a time where we can choose to show up and inspire each other and keep an, as Scott said, keep an open mind, keep an open heart and an open spirit. Because when we're in that space of openness, we are in maximum, we are invoking maximum readiness to grow, right? We're calling on and we're saying, yes, I'm ready to grow. So here we go. And in that spirit, in the spirit of gratitude, I thought, oh, I'm going to end with this piece called Love and Gratitude that I actually wrote. I like to think that I wrote it with Dr. Masaru Emoto because I went to Japan to play at his memorial concert. And a few weeks before I was going, I just got this deep feeling. He felt that the love and gratitude water crystal that he took a photo of during his career was the most powerful and perfect water crystal. And when he first saw it, he said that the perfection illuminated the knowingness that the energies of love and gratitude are the most important energies for us to cultivate and focus on in ourselves and in our lives. So knowing that I was going to the concert of love and gratitude to celebrate his life, I tuned in, I meditated, and I felt him. And in one go, this song came through. So please, let's call in Dr. Emoto as I play, and we will just all step into this space of love and gratitude together. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Love and gratitude, dear ones. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And please come join us this Saturday for the first day of the new year as we make our New Year's evolutions together.
Beautiful. Thank you, Kristen, so much. Look forward to seeing all of you Saturday. GlobalPeaceTribe.com is where you can register, and we'll see you on Saturday night and hopefully again on Sunday. Thank you, everybody. This has been a beautiful, very inspiring evening.
Thank you so much.
Good night, everybody. Have
Thank
a
you.
evening.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you, Scott.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Kristen and Scott. Love and blessings.
Kristen, you're fantastic.
Oh, thank you. Love and blessings.
Love
I
and
hug you.
gratitude.
Energy hugs to all.
Love and gratitude.
Love and gratitude.
Yay.